haven't streamed live in a very long time, and I wanted to come back and do this again for the Zodiac sign forecast for 2025, Year of the Wood Snake. Of course, presented here by me on the Learn Feng Shui podcast. I'm Candice Berlanga, certified Feng Shui practitioner, red ribbon professional with the International Feng Shui Guild, and of course, the host of the Learn Feng Shui podcast. This is a yearly event I like to do every year. I think it's just a fun event. Yeah, just a fun way to kind of see what the year has in store for you. You can follow me, obviously, at the website, learnfengshui.com, and on all social medias at Learn Feng Shui, learnfengshui.com. Since I'm doing Facebook Live, I have my comments pulled up here. I'm actually going to share on the group. I have a Learn Feng Shui group. So let's go Learn Feng Shui. It's called Learn Feng Shui Community. And you can go there and let's see here. Yeah, it's working. Okay. You can comment either here or in the group if you have questions about your zodiac sign, and I'll do a Q&A at the end of the talk. So I'll get through all this. You can type in your comments as I talk, as you think about them, and I will answer and go through those as the talk is over. So this is only one way of predicting what you may have in store for you for the year. So this is called the Shen Sha system. It's a symbolic star that helps you plan ahead, stay on track with your goals, and using these yearly predictions or astrology, it just allows you to better map out your year and stick to your plans. It's just one system out of many. There could be differing views on what the year has in store for you, and that's just why, because it's only one way to predict, and it's only a little portion of what's called your natal chart or your Vata chart. So it doesn't tell you everything, but it can help you. I think it takes away fear. I want to take away fear, first of all. Sometimes predictions can be scary. You look at some of these and you're like, oh my God, something bad's going to happen. Well, let's look at that. I base these predictions, and I only had a 2022 version of this almanac because this year I went digital, but I base these. There is a section in the book where he talks about all of these energies that I'm going to be talking about today. So if you want to read that for yourself, you can go to Master Ken Ko's House of Feng Shui, and I link that in the comments in the description below. And you can check that out. He has a digital almanac. I like the paperback because I can highlight and reference it easily. But this year I went digital because I didn't have time to wait for shipping. If you're overseas, the shipping does take a little bit of time. So digital is quite fine too. A lot of information in there, and it's actually really easy to use. It's just one of my favorite almanacs. When we're looking at a natal chart, you might pull something up that looks like this. You can plot yours out. That link is in the comments. Also on the website, there is a zodiac sign calculator, or you can easily Google zodiac sign calculator, but it'll look a little something like this. It has a lot of information, but to simplify today, we're only going to be looking at this. We're only going to be looking at this information here, so we can take all the other information out. We don't have to worry about none of this stuff. And we're only looking at these zodiac signs, this here, the year, the month, the day, and the hour that you're born. Oh, too far ahead there. I went too far on the slides. Taking it back a step, looking here at the energy, you actually have 4 zodiac signs in your natal chart. So a lot of people know, it's the year of the snake, but that's only one component of your chart. And here you have the year you're born. You have one zodiac sign. You have one for the month you're born, and then you have one zodiac sign for the day you're born, and even the hour you're born. So you can have up to 4 zodiac signs in your natal chart. And where that falls in your chart will kind of determine the area of your life that's going to impact. And so if it falls in the year, it could impact more of your friend group, your social circle, and kind of that community around you, the events that happen kind of in your circle. The month you're born represents your career, your parental relationships, and in some cases your health. So that could be a factor there. The day represents your health and your romantic relationships, your partnerships. And the hour represents your children's thoughts, emotions, feelings, and your subordinates. So if you are a head of a company, if you're a boss and you have people in underneath you, this could represent your career in that way. So, what are your zodiac signs? If you're watching live, comment those in the chat. I do like to know, to know which zodiac signs are represented here today. And of course, this year is the year of the snake. I'm going to look at my group. I'm going to have the group open here too, so I can see the chat in the group. And I don't have any comments there, I don't believe. So, all right, let's keep it going. I'm just going to keep that open so I can look for the interaction there. And again, your 40 zodiac signs, it will represent something different depending on where it falls. And this is kind of what I just talked about. Again, you can plot your natal chart out there, and I will have all this slides. I uploaded them to the website today. So you can go to learnfengshui.com to reference this for yourself if you want to come back and look at it. And it's hard to follow sometimes and just remember everything. So I definitely have that up on the website so you can go back and reference it as you see fit. All right, let's start, right? Let's start, guys. Starting off with, I lost my page. Starting off with the zodiac sign of rat. I just lost it again. Okay. Starting off first with the zodiac sign of the rat. Let's see, I do have some comments. And it's hard to, I can't see my comments. All right. I might have to go to my other, it's hard to keep track when you're in two different groups. It's okay. So starting off first with the zodiac sign of the rat here. I'm trying to look at the comments. Hey, Linda. Hey, Cheryl. Rooster. Cheryl has a rooster, a rabbit. Oh, two roosters and a horse. And Linda has the rabbit, the dragon, the snake, and the horse. So it's good to have you ladies in here. Thank y'all for interacting with the page. Linda, I know you interact with a lot of the content, and I really love seeing your comments and hearing the feedback from you. So it's good to see you guys watching, and let's see what we can give you some insight into what your zodiac has for the year. So the rat. Let's see here. I don't think either one of you guys had a rat. No. So no rat in the comments, but the rat. So 2025 will call you to take charge. I think one thing I forgot to mention, hold on. We'll address that in a second. So 2025, actually, no. Okay, let's before we do that, let's do this. What I do I think my slide got omitted where I discuss the fact that I break this down into a synopsis and I kind of talk about your focus for the year. And then in the next slide over, we'll go through each star and if it impacts your health, your relationships, or your career and finance. That's the other one. So I break it down to 3 different categories for a little bit easier reference. And so this is just your focal point for 2025. The rat will call you to take leadership and step into the leadership role. Stay consistent, maintain your productivity, and put in that steady effort because success will follow. And accept support and opportunity. Things may move fast for you this year. Let's take a look why. So again, here's your 3 categories of health, career, finance, and relationships. Starting off with career and finance is usually my focus because most of my Feng Shui assessments, I do focuses on small businesses and business owners. And so either setting up for small business offices or setting up like home offices is my focus for my business. So most of it focuses on career and finance. And the rat has a really good year coming up ahead. Again, the Emperor star is one that calls you to lead and inspires others to follow you. So again, stepping into that leadership role. The dragon virtue, it's a problem solving star and it helps turn negatives into positives and brings help and helpful people. So for sure be ready to accept that help whenever you it's offered. I know sometimes we're like, no, I can do it all by myself. But if somebody's offering to give you a step up or help you out in some kind of way, you can definitely take that, and there's no problem with that. The Sky Noble aids in a form of problem solving between two parties. So it says that it brings hope to a hopeless situation. And that's usually in the form of like a moderation. If two people are fighting or arguing, if you've been in any kind of legal trouble or custody, things like that, this will bring a end to that situation and work out for both parties. It's like a moderator or a mediator. That's what it's called. And then things move fast for you because it's the sky horse. So that helps move things along and push through that stagnant energy. So if you feel like last year was a little bit, the dragon and the rat for the dragon year 2024 did have a combination. And so I don't know that things moved slow for the rat, but if you felt like anything was slow in some area of your life, things will start moving along again. For your health, look at some of these names sound quite bad, like dark sky and brutal defeat, but rest assured, there's not like brutal defeat in your, you know, in your path, I suppose. But it just means added stress. So take the time to unwind when you feel overwhelmed. A lot of these energies that you'll notice, they're more psychological, and so it can have a psychological effect and lead you to feel stressed out, overwhelmed. Maybe seek some counseling and do some things to de-stress a little bit, since your year will be quite busy. And again, if you're stepping into that leadership role, you might just feel a little bit overwhelmed. And as far as relationships go for the rat, it can indicate jealousy. So there's that. And the salty pool could indicate short-term hookups or situationships, as the youth calls it. So it's good for meeting people, but doesn't necessarily result in a long-term commitment. So if you just want to get out there and you want to date and you're just looking for a fun time this year, this energy can support that. So it'll be, good for that. But if you're in a committed relationship, rekindle that passion in your relationship and maybe take some of that jealousy away, reassure your partner, and you'll be just fine. Remember, even if opportunity presents itself, if you're in a committed relationship, you don't have to take it. So, it's all about your choices and actions too. This is just some of the energy that could present itself. One thing I forgot to mention is that I have up here, if you haven't plotted your natal chart out, if you're born in January, and you do really have to go plot that out if you're born at the beginning of the month, because sometimes this can differ. But if you're born in one of these years, you have an ox or between the hours of like 1 to 3 a.m., you probably have an ox in your natal chart. And so the information is up at the top there. So if you have the ox, your focus for 2025 is a creative endeavor. So you can focus on your creative side this year. If you don't really have a creative side, it's a good time to take up a hobby or monetize your creative business. If you're some sort of artist or content creator, it's a good year for you. Opportunity for collaboration, brand deals and partnerships can present themselves. So working with others is highly recommended. It'll benefit you this year. Let's see here. For opportunity, or so for the opportunity, that career and finance. So opportunity is going to come to you through partnerships, and it is a good wealth and asset building energy. The elegant seal is excellent for those in creative line of work, and it could lead to recognition in your field, and you can get what's called TikTok famous. If you're chronically online like me and you like TikTok, I love TikTok. I'm glad they didn't take it away all the way here in the US. Yet we'll see. So we'll see. But one example of that is like those TikTok stars that they seemingly become famous overnight. There's one in particular, and I looked at her natal chart and she has the ox, and I feel like this year is going to be more busy for her. Unfortunately, make sure you get famous from something interesting and good, and not famous for just being a hot mess. That can definitely happen too. Some people are famous for being bad. They have that reputation. and it's like a train wreck. You can't look away. So make sure that you're putting your energy into something good. Remember, our actions and our choices, if you are making good choices and actions, you're going to get a good result. Whether if you're making negative choices and actions, of course you're going to get a negative result. So channeling that into good decisions is, is the way to go. You can't go wrong that way. So yellow flag. So this can help you, not help you, but it'll make you second guess yourself and make hasty mistakes in your last minute decisions. So it's kind of that energy that um, you are going back and forth on a decision, and in that decision, you make a fast choice, and you're like, yeah, just between A and B, you just choose A, but make sure you do your research and don't second guess yourself. Really do your research and go with your gut. I think don't second guess that. Sky Warrior, help protect your identity and be aware of scams to get financial info. So that can definitely. Um, that's just a factor in today's world. Don't give somebody your information. There's some good scams out there. Like I saw one the other day in my email, and it was from Apple, from the App Store. And I was like, I don't think that my payment information failed. Yeah. So I looked, and sure enough, it was not from Apple. So you have to, do your research and be diligent. And the other caution with Sky Warrior is only if you work. Some of these are kind of funny because it's only if you work with explosives. So be cautious of risky activities. If you're like in some sort of fire, explosive, pyrotechnic related field of work, the only thing I can think of, my dad used to work with munitions in the military. And I mean, he would have to be careful this year, but that's not his field of work anymore. So it could indicate injury from a risky activity. The other thing with the health too, these are some more sort of environmental concerns here. White tiger and yellow flag can make you more prone to injury, accident, and illness. So be careful in really crowded spaces around a flu and cold season. And of course, just be careful because sometimes under the yellow flag, it's more of something in your environment that you really can't control, where you get injured. Maybe you step in a hole or you fall down or something. But something that you might not even see. So you just have to be careful. And as far as relationships, you have the sky cry, which can have you thinking about past love, misconnections, the coulda, woulda, shoulda. It can affect your current relationship. If you're in a relationship and you're not happy and you're thinking about somebody else, that's not good. So make it work with the one you're with and put aside that reminiscing. There's nothing wrong with like, oh yeah, I remember, this thing, but thinking about what could have been only makes you sad. You can't change it. It's like looking in the rearview mirror while you're driving forward, so just forward thinking and just moving ahead. All right, the tiger. So if you're born in February, one of these years, or between the hours of 3 to 5 a.m., your focus for 2025 is also career and finance. The opportunities are going to be good for you. They can present themselves, but be cautious of the aggression that can lead to self-sabotaging behavior. It's just feeling more agitated, more aggressive. One thing with the tiger too is that it will form a combination with the snake and the monkey, but it's helping other people that don't really deserve your help and shouldn't really be. It can lead you to help people that are ungrateful or wouldn't do the same for you. So if you do that, help others without expectation, or decline to help if the person isn't worthy of that help. And it can start with that relationship aspect here. So let's see here. One of the ways it could present itself too is the 6 harm. So staying out of others' fights, and again, helping people with expectations or conditions, because you'll be disappointed. Don't loan people money if you're not in the position to not be paid back. The crossing and drape star is that aggressive energy. So it can indicate aggressive behavior. So again, self-awareness, take some anger management classes if you feel more aggressive this year. Don't take stuff out on people around you. And this curled tongue could just lead to others speaking bad about you, maybe because of this behavior here. So it can kind of, pile on there. As far as your career goes, you have some really good energies this year. The prosperity star, financial gain and prosperity, increased gain in investments and property. So you can see property values increase if you own property, and investments can also have some gains to them. Fortune virtue, see here. Yeah, opportunity and good customer relations. So one thing that can help overcome some of this here is this fortune virtue, because it just represents, again, just the good customer relationship you'll have this year. So people want to do business with you, and it should be quite good for that. For again, um, has some financial gain there. The heaven virtue is a problem solving energy, which can turn a lot of this around too. It can turn negative situations into positive ones. So whereas you thought maybe there wasn't a way out of something, you will see the way out, and it'll turn around to work out for you in the end. So don't get too stressed out. Another one that'll need to protect your identity and financial information this year is that robbery Shaw. It indicates just money being stolen from you. So watch your wallet, don't leave stuff out, to be cautious when being around people and leaving your financial information open to them. Be cautious of others taking credit for your work, and that could come in as the robbery also, because if somebody comes in and steals your work, then that's a form of robbery. Also, in this, if you have like a Instagram account, and I see it happen all the time where you're like, oh, I didn't know. You go to somebody's account that you thought you followed, and you're like, oh, this isn't even their account. It's like a cloned account. It could be something like that where somebody clones your work and takes credit for it online or something. So modern interpretations there. So the gut blade, environmental dangers while traveling. So caution while traveling. There's quite a few of these this year. And honestly, we all need to be careful traveling this year, because the Zodiac sign that's governing that year, that snake, it's what's called the travel horse, or the sky horse. It's a energy that represents traveling and sometimes accidents, especially with the tiger and the monkey. So if you have those two signs in your Zodiac, just be careful of that. The sun has both. I told him to be very careful driving this year. Put a little charm in your car, or do something that can help protect you while traveling. Don't travel during bad weather and stuff like that. Okay. The drape star can indicate having to take care of somebody that's sick. So if you don't take care of yourself and you're too busy taking care of somebody else, you could get run down and get sick too. So be careful of that. All right. Going here, rabbit. Rabbit is the month of March. If you're born in one of these years here, or between the hours of 5 to 7 a.m. And I know I've had some people come in and watch here. If you haven't looked at your Zodiac, or you don't know which Zodiac signs you are under, you can go to that link in the description, and there's a plotter on the website. And again, all of these slides will be available on the website at Learn Feng Shui. I'll put that in the comments. I put it up this morning, the slides, so .com for the slides. That'll be a recap. Okay. I commented that in the comment section there. So if you haven't done that yet, there's all the information there. Rabbit. So your focus for 2025 is consistency and a positive mindset. Remember, positive mindset takes you a long way. So be careful of being impatient. There will probably be some unexpected setbacks that are beyond your control. Just go with the flow. Sometimes it's like that. And I can start with that energy here. Skydog and prison inmate, it represents setbacks at work. And in the almanac, where I got the information from, the Kinko Almanac. This is the old one, but I have the digital copy, so I don't have a copy of it available in front of me. When one of the things that he talked about is that it could be like supply issues. And so, I mean, I feel like the world is strange right now with different regulations and supplies, and our market is weird. Like one of the examples is my husband's in real estate, and the real estate market is not good at the current moment. And so this could represent that energy there. So just setbacks, going with the flow, line up alternatives. Like if you have if you're in a business where you are you deal with manufacturers, there could be some manufacturing issues this year. So be careful to not run out of stock, set up that alternative supplier. And sometimes these issues are just out of our control. But this present inmate does represent skirting rules and regulations. So don't do that thinking that you can get around some of this stuff, because it just like carries a connotation of getting in legal trouble. So don't do that. We don't want anyone to get in legal trouble this year. And then another energy here. Yeah, Calamity Shaw, you have to be careful of possible identity theft and financial scams again. Be cautious and do your research when you're putting in your credit card information online, okay? So the good energies that you have to look forward this year are the thriving star. So it represents a consistent and stable income. Again, as a business owner, if you are in business for yourself, you might know that it is not always a consistent, steady stream of income. Some months are a lot slower than others, just kind of depending on your business. So that thriving star does come in, and it helps to take some of that away. It's more consistent and steady, and it may come in the form of giving you ideas to expand your business some kind of way where you're getting a residual income. Residual income's always good. No relationship flags or anything really going on for the rabbit, but the health, you'll have to be careful. Suspended guests and funeral guests. So be careful of driving in cold and flu season again, getting sick from others in public. And I think, I know the funeral guests, it kind of carries that energy. Back in the day, they would say certain zodiac signs, and my feng shui master says it too, certain zodiac signs shouldn't go or attend funerals. But I think that comes from back in the day that people would they didn't have ways to preserve bodies or clean them up and stuff after people passed. And so maybe getting sick from whatever the person passed away of, it just represents getting sick from being out in public. And so wear your mask, wash your hands, and do all the things. Calamity Shaw, this is another environmental energy. So accidental dangers, avoid traveling during bad weather, hurricane or tornadoes. Just from past trends, historically, the year of the snake has more active tornado and hurricane seasons. The last year of the wood snake, 1965. You can look back at those trends and see what was going on those years. And one of the things that it talked about was the very active hurricane tornado season. So during the months where those are most active, I'm not sure, it's different for different countries. I have a lot of different people from all walks of life in watching the video here. So I know here in the US, again, those months are kind of in the spring months and in the fall months when the warmer weather and the colder weather will clash and make those environmental or like weather phenomena happen. So be careful during those months. That's my point. So dragon, let's see here. Remember, if you have any questions about your zodiac sign, I'm doing a Q&A at the end. And I can answer your questions about, what your zodiac has in store if you're interested in that. So comment your questions below and I'll go through the chat when I'm done and take a look. And if you're watching this and it's already past the lifetime, still feel free to comment and I'll answer in the comments or message me privately. All right. So if you're born in April, you're probably born in the month of the dragon. And of course, last year was the year of the dragon. We're moving out of that here. We're shifting. And even though the Chinese New Year was on Wednesday, one of those days, the new zodiac sign doesn't officially take over until February 3rd or so. Then we'll be in the year of the snake. So if you've had a baby in the month of January, they're still born under the zodiac sign of dragon. the calendar's off a little bit from our traditional calendar here in the West. So, Dragon, your focus for 2025. You can focus on mental health this year, take advice from others, and be willing to accept help. And be teachable. Try to be grateful for small things and focus on your own actions. Remember, self awareness, it really is a big one for these energies here to kind of get away from that. And we can start with the health and the energy of the mental health stuff here. A surpassing path, just anxiety and overthinking. This year should be a lot calmer for you than it was last year. I know a lot of times when you have the zodiac sign that is governing the year, what's called the Grand Duke, the energy isn't as forgiving as you might think. Sometimes the energy is very hard to kind of work through. So it'll be a lot better. But again, taking care of your mental health this year is key. The solitary star really represents feeling more lonely and self-isolating. So be aware that you don't have to be alone if you don't want to be. Sometimes you just feel like being alone. And honestly, that's okay a little bit too. I kind of mentioned at the beginning of the video here that I haven't done a live since last year, probably since last January. And I felt like being alone too. Like it was very much that energy. It was just feeling like being alone. So you just don't really feel like doing a lot. The sickness star, year killing, and sky killing. So these are all about finding balance and being mindful. Your sickness could come from overindulging. So illness can be prevented by adapting a healthier lifestyle, avoid spiritual practice that go against your conventional beliefs. So there's sometimes you shouldn't do deep meditations and stuff like that. I can't remember why, honestly. I just know that that's the energy. But again, sickness star does represent maybe you can get a little bit sicker this year if you're not careful. So again, wearing the mask and washing your hands and stuff like that. Careful during cold and flu season. But career and finance look pretty good for you because you have sky happiness, which can bring an increase to your investments. So it can help you overcome your feelings of the sadness and stuff like that. It also represents happy events with your family. So just be grateful for that. And that's why I say be grateful for the little things in life here. If you, let's see here, going back to career and finance, a heavenly officer can aid in pushing through paperwork and getting approval for permits. It's a star that represents people working at an official level. And it's that sort of paperwork, the paperwork pushers, if you've been wanting to get a permit or getting the government grants or you're looking to do something like that, it's a good year for the dragon to try to do that. It just represents like the kind of that paperwork that needs to be done. So it'll help push those things through if you've been waiting for approval for something. Let's see here, solitary star. This can lead to some self-sabotaging in result in a relationship breaking down. So again, more of it is about isolating yourself and pushing people away. So don't do that. Don't do that if you value your relationship. The year killing, it's the further breakdown of the relationship that's already in trouble. If your relationship's pretty good, again, spend time with your partner, focus on the good things. Again, the sky happiness will come in. It represents like having a baby, somebody getting married, attending weddings, things like that. And so I know this was in my zodiac last year. I can't remember which zodiac animal, but we had babies born in our family and we spent more time with family last year. And that in and of itself was really nice. And it kind of helps you overcome some of that loneliness. So do not self-isolate for the dragon. All right, so we come to the Grand Duke of the year. So the Grand Duke is the what the energy is called that governs the year, since we're going into the year of the snake. Again, after February 3rd or so, if you have a baby after February 3rd, they'll be born under the zodiac sign of the snake, the wood snake. So your focus for 2025 is to be ready for career opportunity and maybe apply for promotions, performance evaluations. Recognition can come easily for this year, and be mindful and proactive of your health issues. So you do get an energy called the Grand Duke or the Duke's arrival. And that can help you be more seen this year. And just going into career and finance, the golden carriage, really good energy. It represents like when they would carry like the family money in a carriage, they would put it in a trunk in a carriage. I mean, that's what it represents. And they would, travel along with like the family wealth. And so that's what the golden carriage represents. So career and financial progress, good for promotions, raises, and expanding your business. It'll be good for that this year. 8 seats can help you gain recognition. It's also let's see here. Yeah, gaining recognition. And again, with that Grand Duke or that Duke's energy, it really represents being just more seen, more in a public eye. So just be ready for that. Again, if you're doing stuff that you don't need to be doing, you shouldn't be doing, then people will recognize that too. So again, making those good choices and taking good action will help you overcome the negative connotation to that. A relief god. It's a problem solving star that aids you in turning negative situations around. So again, it turns those negative situations that you thought were going to be bad, and it could turn it around to something positive that end up working out for you in the end. Hey guys, I see some new people coming on to watch. Again, there's links down below. There's links in the description if you need to go plot your zodiac chart, and if you want to look at this information, you want to go re-reference it after you plot your chart. Oh, let's see here. I'm sorry, did I lose? I'm worried that I just lost my sound. Can anyone confirm that the sound is on? The sound went to my, okay, thank you. The sound is good. Okay. The sound went to my iPad. I was like, oh no, I'm using my earbuds. I probably shouldn't use those for doing this. Okay. One of the well, let's see here. Career and finance. Okay, so back to that. Backpoking star. So that does represent like some office or work politics. They need to be navigated. People talking about each other, going behind your back, backpoking essentially. And one thing you have to watch for too is a hidden corpse, because mistakes may be revealed and maybe you didn't want people to find out. And that could also impact your job there, especially if mistakes were made at work. And it could impact your relationship, because sometimes it can indicate a secret being revealed to a spouse or partner. So just be honest and take accountability is my advice for the snake for the year. I have a snake, so we'll see what comes out about me, I guess. We'll see. We'll see. And again, that backpoking star could just be pettiness from others, gossip, and rumors. So if you have the let's see here. Again, snakes in a relationship, the golden carriage also can represent you taking the commitment level to the next step. So if you're dating somebody, maybe you move in together, maybe you make that long-term commitment, maybe you propose marriage. And if you're married, maybe you have a baby. It just represents like the next level of commitment for a relationship. So that can be really good for snakes this year that are looking to have some long-term commitment. If you're married, like I've been married for a long time, we're about to celebrate our 20th anniversary on Valentine's Day. So there's my golden carriage, I suppose. Blood knife can indicate the need for surgery. So get regular checkups. And if you need to have any sort of surgery done, if you want to get a facelift, if you want to get Botox, things like that, do it this year, because they say that it will take the need for surgery away. If you do something with the needle, you could donate blood. And if you have anything that you've needed to do, like you need to get something removed from your body, and it's not necessarily been a health concern where you had to have it done immediately, you're just kind of waiting, it's a good year to have that done if you're a snake. So the sword edge can indicate injury from risky activity. So be careful when participating in just some more high risk activity. So no skydiving this year. So if you plan to go skydiving and you're a snake, then you should cancel that. Let's see here. Trying to make sure I see the rolling chat here. Okay. So the horse, if you're born in June, one of these years, next year is the year of the horse. And if you're born between hours of 11 to 1 p.m. or 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., then you're born under the zodiac sign of horse. I thought that I put the wrong AM PM there for a second. So, oh, thank you, Linda. We're happy to be married 20 years. Let's see here. Your focus for 2025 for the horse is learning and upgrading your current skills. So, taking your knowledge of the subject to the next level, since there's always more to learn about anything, always something to learn. So, don't allow others to let you become stagnant and take breaks when needed. So, pursue and keep going on despite what others are doing. And I'll start here. It's really just because this bad chi, what's called bad chi, represents work partnerships, maybe not working so well due to others not having the same goal as you. So it kind of leads you to a standstill. So if you're working on a project and you have your part done and the other person doesn't have their part done, then what do you do? So just be aware of that. Don't let that stop you. And if you feel like the energy has left you to be stagnant, take some rest. This heavenly chef here represents like the energy. It's called heavenly chef because it represents like eating well or eating good that year. It's kind of a relaxation star. Just it's kind of self-explanatory. You can take a little bit of time off. If you are at a standstill, then enjoy it. Just try to make the best of it. And again, the energy of learning and upgrading your knowledge here, because this intelligence star, again, if you're having to take time off from work, or you're at a little bit of a standstill or a stopping point with your work, you can always learn something. You can always study something, start a new subject, upgrade your knowledge and learning in a subject. Like I do Chinese metaphysics, well, I'm always learning something new, and I'm continually taking my classes and reading books and all kinds of stuff. So I love learning more. There's always something more to learn. And the sun star is a problem solving star. Again, this is another energy that can turn a negative situation into a positive one. Let's see here. More of the psychological effect for sky emptiness here for the horse, just loss of confidence and uncertainty. And you can kind of turn that around here by using this peach blossom energy. I didn't talk about this, but in your career, it could represent more attention, being more popular, more people noticing you. It represents, I know they say it represents like being like more attracting more attention from the opposite sex, but it really just is kind of a popularity star. And it just represents getting more attention. It's the attention seeking, I suppose, attention. It attracts the attention for you. And so you can use that for your relationship too. If you're single, you can attract more attention. This is for anybody. You can get a makeover, put yourself out there, whether it's like social media, just making yourself feel a little bit better. Buy yourself a new wardrobe, doing something different with your hair, it can help you overcome this loss of confidence here that the sky emptiness can bring. I know I'm in my 40s now, and we don't always feel the best, and one thing I do to make myself feel better is I put a little bit of makeup on and try not to look like a troll. So some days I don't care, but some days we'll do the whole makeup thing. So another thing with relationships here is the bad chi. Try not to put your expectations on to others, and that'll help also with overcoming that energy there. So that can affect your relationship if you're a horse this year. All right, almost there, guys. We're halfway done. And July. If you're born in July, you're born under the zodiac sign of the goat or the sheep. Sometimes it's called something different depending on what you're looking at. And they go to sheep one of these years here. If you're born between the hours of 1 to 3 p.m., your focus for 2025 is clear and effective communication. So be ready to take opportunity that comes, but be prepared to possibly be taken the wrong way. Just be diligent in your work and double check. Let's see why here. The Bright Hall will start with career and finance. You'll be given a platform to showcase your talent. You can bring more recognition and opportunity to you. So that's one thing you can look up. There's some positives there. And again, the Yen Sha, this can affect your career because if at work, it could bring some pettiness from jealous people. Maybe some insecurities will show, especially if people are jealous of you. If you're given the opportunity, if you're more recognized, that can definitely bring a little bit of jealousy. And the Yin energy represents a female energy. So just be cautious in this work at the workplace and stay away from your drama. If you're in a relationship, this could represent some insecurity and pettiness from a female. The separating edge here represents the ending of a relationship. So focusing on, no, we'll talk about that in a second, but it can indicate the end of a relationship. And sometimes when you break up with somebody, they can get quite nasty and aggressive. So that could be what that represents there. In terms of work here, the leopard tail represents being offensive or coming across the wrong way. I think they say like stepping on the tail of a leopard, it can bring some revenge, some blowback. So, like they'll turn around and bite you, So either learn to speak clearly or don't speak. It just represents being offensive. So if you're offensive in a relationship, then that could lead to the separating edge. It could lead to somebody trying to lash out at you. Be cautious of things being taken out of context. I put stay out of comments because we know this comment section of anywhere sometimes can be a little volatile. You can be taken the wrong way when you text, just because you can't provide context when you're texting or when you're putting it out in writing. And so just being a little quieter this year. And really being self-aware, because sometimes we say stuff and we don't mean to come across a certain way. And then we're like, oh, I didn't mean to say it that way. So that can represent that too. In terms of health, the earth and funeral door can lead you to feel a little bit drained due to emotional fatigue, and it can cause thoughts of your own mortality. And it's recommended that you cut back on funeral and hospital visits, kind of that same energy of getting sick from being out in public, especially when you go to the hospital during the cold and flu season. So maybe don't visit too many hospitals this year. And the earth, I felt like the earth door, or the earth represented some environmental issues, again, kind of beyond your control, where there could be something that you could come across that you can be injured while traveling, being outside, just things beyond your control like that, environmental factors. And though one thing you need to look for is the flying chase. So illness flaring up, go for your routine checkups. And if it's recommended you get a checkup, your colonoscopy, your mammography, do those things. So you can do that. Let's see here. So the monkey, if you're born in August, we're almost there, guys, almost there. Born in August, one of these years here, or between the hours of 3 to 5 p.m., your focus for 2025 is to be cautious of self-sabotage and allowing others to take advantage of you. The combination can cause you to help others knowing that they are unworthy and ungrateful. So saying no is okay. A career looks pretty good, has promise for opportunity and growth. So you also be ready to accept help. Again, kind of that punishment energy between a snake and a monkey. They do combine and create what is called the secret friend, but they do form a little bit of a punishment, and most of it is just that energy of helping people out, seeing the best in somebody and being disappointed. So we created ourselves by friending the wrong people and trusting them to help us back. Again, that expectation, I think, can, when you take the expectation out of the relationship, you can overcome some of that, you don't really have any relationship things this year, but let's take a look at career and finance. Your secret friend of 5 prosperity. So it does represent making strides in your career and financial strides. So that'll be good for you this year, financial gain. Again, a lot of times things come in the form of opportunity, and that can come in the form of a heavenly nobleman too. So that brings you help in time of need and calls you to help others also. Sometimes you have to be the one that is the nobleman. The sky fortune represents advancement in career and favors action. So be prepared for opportunity. I know in one of my slides, I put something like success is preparedness means opportunity or something like that. So just like today, I had to get prepared, and I admittedly wasn't prepared in all my slides. I thought I could just drop them in real quick to my PowerPoint presentation, and it would come up. But I had some issues trying to get my slides uploaded. If I was prepared, I wouldn't be so stressed out, right? I was like trying to frantically come on. Um, and here, some of the things you need to watch out for career, and just general caution is this heavenly officer charm. I'm trying not to yawn. A heavenly officer charm. So it follows rules and regulations. Make sure that you are, if you're traveling this year, make sure you know the culture of the place you're traveling to. Make sure you don't break those rules and try and skirt around them too. Make sure you follow that. The hook spirit. This can affect your career also because it can represent overpromising and under delivering. So be realistic of your ability and your amount of time that you have to work on something. Sometimes we want to get everything done, but we really don't have the time or the skill. Just if you are new at something and you're trying to make a name for yourself, be sure you set that expectation with the people you're working with, and you tell them like, hey, I've only done this a couple times, XYZ, so they know what to expect, just because you don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. You know what it reminds me of? I don't know if y'all have seen with the rise of AI, people are doing those events where they're creating those AI posters for an event. And it like looks like an amazing event. I think in the UK they did like a Willy Wonka one. And when they got there, since the AI poster looked very lavish, very cool. It just looked like this amazing event. And when people got there, it was like the biggest like womp 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 of all time. It was the most disappointing thing. So over promising, under delivering. It was quite comical actually. It was pretty funny. People were pretty disappointed. Let's see here. The Great Assembly Star. It could create a situation where you have to pick between the lesser of the two evils in a situation. So you might have two crappy choices and you have to pick one of them. It just happens. Sometimes life is like that. With your health, be careful of the death god, which can lead to you feeling down, more of a psychological effect. You will not die, but you can be a little more forgetful, and it can make you feel a little bit harder to focus. And that could come into play here with this hook spirit, where you think you can do something, but you honestly just don't have the energy. It is okay to take a step back on some things every now and then. So do be careful of that, and watch your energy level. Red chamber, overindulging in unhealthy habits that stem from the need to escape from feeling, or you feel like you need to escape from life. So if you are feeling like this and you're overindulging, you're using substances, please seek counseling to deal with these feelings instead of stifling with them with the bad habits. Don't over drink, don't overeat, just take care of your body and recognize this energy is only the way we feel sometimes. So seek out better ways to deal with those feelings. Don't ignore them. You need to feel your feelings. All right. And so I remember Rooster was in the chat here. Let's see. Dragon, snake, horse. I think we covered some that were mentioned in the chat here. So Rooster, if you're born in the month of September, one of these years here, or between the hours of 5 to 7 p.m. You could potentially have a rooster in your zodiac. The focus for 2025 is career and financial opportunity, but ignore pettiness. There could be some trolls coming along. Try to plan and allow for a little bit of setback, and just be patient. Keep going forward. That consistency there. Just be cautious of setbacks that are beyond your control in your physical environment, and that could be due to this earth relief here. Let's see, but it is a problem-solving energy. So that's good there. It can help provide protection from those physical injuries that can harm you from being in a location where there's natural disasters or other physical obstructions. So you might encounter that due to this year flying charm, year charm. represents setbacks and some interference with work. Sometimes it's more of like you just have to be around your family more. Last year we had two simultaneous, like back to back deaths in our family, and that's one of the reasons I didn't live stream a lot last year. I just felt like I needed to take a step back. I didn't have time when we were out of town with funerals, but just setbacks and interference with work. I need to be around my family, and I just let it go. I just let go of my wanting to overdo things, wanting to keep going and keep working at stuff. So that's okay. Sometimes these things can happen that just set you back a little bit. Just go with the flow. Go with the flow. You do have some pretty good energies in terms of career here. So general star in 3 stages. So represents recognition at work, a star that indicates it's time also for you to step into a leadership role. So much like the rat, you may find yourself being some sort of authority on something. So people may look to you or they may ask you questions and want to know more about your work. So there's really good golden lock, good money making opportunity. Be prepared for opportunity. Remember, like I just said, success with opportunity meets preparedness. So being prepared and being ready to take those opportunities, it will benefit you this year, especially financially. So it's very good. 5 ghosts, solid killing star, are 2 things you need to watch out for the year here. It can just represent petty or difficult people trolling you. Honestly, who cares? Just ignore that. You don't have to feed into that, and your life will be better if you don't. Let's see here. Double checking your work because the solid killing star. Giving credit to original author could result in legal issues. And I say that because like plagiarism, or again, you clone somebody's Instagram account thinking you're gonna, monetize it or something. I don't know. I don't know who would do that, but don't do that. So just make sure you give your credit to the original author. Again, kind of like I'm doing here. Like I talk about Kinko's book. I got all this information from his book here. You can purchase it yourself. It's okay to talk about other people's work, but be sure to give credit for the original author. Don't plagiarize content or work. Okay. In terms of relationship, broken star could indicate an ending of a relationship. Sometimes things just have natural conclusions. Relationships have a natural conclusion, or you just grow apart. And sometimes you're just in different places in life. And so could indicate the ending of some sort of relationship there for those who commented the rooster. That was for Cheryl Ann, who commented that she had the rooster. All right. If you are, you're a dog. If you're born in the months of October, or if you're born one of these years here between the hours of 7 to 9 p.m. Your focus for 2025 is relief. Oh, you'll have some relief this year because remember that the dog and the dragon have a clashing or an opposing energy. So the energy, it might have been a little bit difficult for you last year. In some areas of your life, you have a lot better working career opportunities. So focus on taking these opportunities and being grateful for the good things in your life, and just focus on bonding and spending time with your partner. That is because of this energy here. So there is an energy that indicates that a relationship could end. Remember, the death is just a symbolic meaning of an ending, and maybe you will find closure or get closure this year. If you have a partner, or if you have a partner, this red matchmaker here is kind of like that same energy of the golden carriage. You could either meet somebody that you get in a serious relationship with, or it's a possibility of taking a relationship to the next level, or again, finding that partner. If you're married, you can deepen your connection to your partner. Let's look at health here. Cascading clouds, more of the psychological effect, just sad thoughts. But it does warn you to watch out for people with bad intentions. So more of a depressive state. Again, go to counseling or therapy if you're not feeling good mentally. Okay, take yourself out of that bad mental space. Especially if you're born under like the hours, that's your emotions. Remember, so these cascading clouds could affect you more if you're born between 7 to 9 p.m. Let's see, your career and finance. Let's take a look at that there. Pummeled saddle. So it represents travel opportunity, especially for work. It may come with little to no warning, maybe a last minute trip. Hey, can you come up and XYZ? Take that opportunity and travel and just take advantage of that. Be ready and prepared. That Tang Fu star can help boost your status, making connections and open opportunity for you. And some of those might not pan out because of this death charm. But it's okay. Keep going. Month virtue, problem solving energy that helps give you the ability to solve your own issues. So you can help mitigate damage that you may have done last year with that dragon energy, with that clashing energy. So the one you need to watch out for too is luster consumer, because it does represent unexpected expenses or frivolous spending. So maybe you'll have a little more money this year, but be careful that overspend. And sometimes those unexpected expenses come in the form of things breaking. Maybe your car breaks down or you have to replace something in your home, and then that'll lead to some unexpected expenses. Okay, last one, guys. Remember, if you have any questions about your specific zodiac sign, or if you need any information, comment in the comments. And if you're watching this just in the replay, you can comment and I'll do my best to answer that question. So let's see here. The pig or boar is the last one here. November, if you're born in November, one of these years here, or between the hours of 9 to 11 p.m. Your focus for 2025. Again, some good working career opportunities. It can support social media and being in front of an audience. So you also need to take the opportunity to travel when possible. And you can do that for work or leisure. And you do have the clashing or opposing zodiac sign for the year, or the Shui Po. That means things can change or turn around for you. It doesn't necessarily mean it's bad, but it could mean, again, the traveling, because both energies are a travel energy. And when you clash, then that can mean you'll be traveling. You don't have anything really for health or relationships. All of it is career and finance if you're born under the zodiac sign of pig. So the sky horse, again, represents traveling, opportunities away from home, sometimes overseas. Take a vacation, could be good for that. Fun fact, I thought this was really interesting. When you look at your zodiac chart, sometimes when you look in hindsight, you'll see interesting things. And one thing I noticed about myself is I am born under the snake is my day pillar, the day I'm born. And I had a pig, or like this boar energy, in one of my luck pillars, which is a 10-year cycle of energy. So it happened very, very young, which is an opposing energy. And we actually moved overseas when I was young. My dad was in the military. And so sometimes it can come in the form of having to move away somewhere else like that. So take that opportunity. National Treasure supports public speaking and being recognized, social media, media interviews, or being in the limelight. So if you are born under the zodiac sign of pig, then you know what? You go ahead and you take the opportunity to be in that limelight. Let's see, sky emptiness, the month emptiness indicates efforts that'll come up void. So you may receive opportunity, but some of them will not pan out or add to your revenue or profit. So this is one of the examples I have. Again, I'm a chronic online person, but I think it's going viral. So, maybe you'll see a meme, or somebody will make like a song of you, right? You're featured on something, and you don't get monetized for it. You're featured, and you're recognized, but you didn't monetize that in any way. And so it could be something like that. The greater consumer is one you have to watch out for. So it represents big purchases. So maybe you're planning for a large purchase, like a home, major renovation, some new appliances. Maybe you're moving, or I need to purchase another vehicle. These are all things represented by this great consumer. So a planned purchase usually. And plan a large purchase this year, especially if you have some of this energy. Make sure you monetize it. Peeling head star represents your hair falling out. No, I'm just kidding. That's what it reminds me of. But it's just being busy for no reason. I just trying to see if y'all are paying attention. Analysis paralysis, I call it. So running around in circles, but not really doing anything, appearing busy, but not being busy. And then obstacle star can bring some setbacks and some busy type work, but you know, tis life, I suppose. Remember to go get the free download of all these slides here. You can go to learnfengshui.com. If you need any personal information, you can contact me directly. If you want a full reading, sometimes the information here doesn't cover, it doesn't even scratch the surface. So you can kind of plan your year out a little better. Specifically, I know when I do my readings, I'll go through each kind of month and I'll point out the months that the person has the best wealth opportunities. Again, I focus mostly on business. So if you're interested in that, you can call me. Don't call me. You can email me or you can message me directly. But yeah, Learn Feng Shui podcast. It is up on the website again. These slides are available for download.